Hello everyone, it's been a while, but I've finally found some content to do, and it is very special content indeed. This is Creationist of the Week, Season 2, Episode 10, and this week we're going to be doing We Found One, but we get book up. But I think he meant to name himself We Fall Down, but we get back up. Or alternatively, a username that actually doesn't sound stupid. A lot of people say my username sounds stupid. Maybe that's just my opinion, but we're here for his video, not his username. He is a fan of Ken Hovind, a known liar and fraud who is currently in prison and will be for at least 3 more years, I believe. Let's check his about page. Now, he says there are 2 reasons why the channel was created: to provide evidence for unbelievers and to strengthen and encourage his family. Well, you know, I don't think either of those is going to happen today. No, we're just going to see some stupid shit and we're going to laugh at it. Now, before we get right into it, I want to show you some of his other videos.
2 demons caught on camera, very convincing. UFOs lie and teach like demons, parts 1 and 2. Wow, it's just a game, video game addiction.
And my personal favorite,
Weird Events of 2014, very scary,
which he has made no less than 10 entries to. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but he likes to tick all of his video titles. That kind of reminds me of Fox News claiming to be fair and balanced. Anyway, let's get to the video we're watching today.
Evolution is a religion based upon faith and assumptions that have nothing to do with science.
What a mouthful. Let's see if we can count how many errors are in the title just before we begin. 1, evolution isn't a religion. 2, it's based upon hard evidence, not assumptions. 3, evidence is the opposite of faith. And 4, evolution has everything to do with science. So we're off to a good start, aren't we? Now, without further ado, into the video.
Evolution is a religion based upon faith and assumptions that have nothing to do with science. Also, many of the lies that they use to support their theory have been disproven or shown to be fabricated or fraudulent.
Any part of evolutionary theory that was wrong, let alone fraudulent, was disproven by evolutionary scientists and is no longer supported by the theory. Or is there something I'm missing?
But they not only continue to teach these things that were disproved years ago, but these lies are still in the textbooks today, destroying the faith of millions of young Christians.
Most Christians accept evolution. The Catholic Church fully supports evolution. Some of my viewers are Christians. Some of the most competent evolutionary biologists are Christians. I think there's a paleontologist that fully supports evolution who is a preacher. I'll probably put his name below in a subtitle or something. To say that the teaching of biology and evolutionary biology destroys Christian belief is completely false.
Evolution is nothing but a religion based upon assumptions and not scientific facts. Evolution is a religious faith-based worldview.
Still no evidence, man. But keep going, I'm sure you'll get there.
The reason why most of you probably believe in the theory of evolution is because since the age of 5 up until however old you are now, you've been constantly bombarded with this theory and indoctrinated.
I, for one, was not bombarded with the theory or indoctrinated in any way. I was barely taught about evolution until high school, and even then I was told about evolution, but no one ever really clarified how strong the evidence really was, or explained any of its mechanics in the detail that I understand them now. The actual reason I accept the theory comes from self-education over the past 2 or so years. It shouldn't well, I would have accepted the theory anyway, because I'm not a fucking idiot. But that's one of the reasons why I consider it so important, and why a big chunk of my channel is about, doing evolutionary stuff. Anyway, that said, I really recommend Aaron Ra's channel to anyone interested in learning it for themselves.
You have not heard or even seen any of the evidences that go against their theory, because whatever does not fit their theory of evolution is simply ignored and brushed underneath the carpet. You won't see it on TV, you won't read it in the textbooks, and you certainly won't hear it in schools.
For the same reason you don't see or read about the evidence for pixies or alchemy. I've been experimenting with this potion. I'd like to test it out, but the evolutionists out there have made publishing pseudoscience a bit difficult. Could you kindly offer me an escort? Ignore the alchemist, guys.
If a woman accuses a man of rape, is it not logical to see what the man has to say before he is sent to prison? Of course it is.
He uses a rape case as an analogy over and over. I'm just going to cut almost all of it out so we can actually get to the fucking point.
I can say without a shadow of a doubt that there is no evidence that supports the theory of evolution, and 100% of their claims are not based upon science, things we can observe, test and demonstrate. No, it's based upon faith. Now you may say, well, fair enough, that's your opinion. I agree, this is my opinion, yes. But still, this would not be sufficient, as we saw in the court case of the man accused of rape. The conviction must be based upon the various pieces of evidence presented from not only the man accused of rape, but also the woman accusing the man of rape.
Except that it's not just my opinion, evolution definitely happens. Various researchers, the most famous being Richard Lenski, have seen evolution happen. They have recorded observations of it. We can also confirm that evolution happens through various other forms of evidence, such as phylogenetics, ERVs, atavisms, geographic distribution, and embryology.
The evidence against evolution is so overwhelming that I couldn't believe in the theory of evolution even if I wanted to. Each piece of evidence presented by creationists prevents me from doing so. And not only that, even the evidence that evolutionists present prevents me from doing so. Well, they call it evidence.
How the fuck would evidence for evolution prevent you from accepting it? How could evidence for creationism convince you? It doesn't exist! I think you mean to say your religious faith and subjective opinions prevent you from doing so.
But it's nothing. It's not evidence. It's nothing but assumptions. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Assumptions? Evolution is a fact. You can't say that until you have sat in the courtroom and heard both arguments.
Except that I have been reading both the sides for about 2+ years now, and I can show you that I've been publicly arguing for the right side for just over a year now if you go to my videos list.
I have. Many people I know have not. The evidence against evolution is more compelling than Luke's evidence against Amy. But this is exactly what I'm getting to. When I say evolution is a lie, and it is not fact, it is a religion which has no evidence for their claims, and not only that, the claims are faith-based and have nothing to do with real science. You don't have to take my word for it, do you? You don't have to believe me. I'm sure you can think for yourself, or some of you. Why don't you try listening to Luke's testimony and evaluate the opposing evidence presented by him, not just Amy's evidence?
If we take your little rape analogy, with Amy being evolution and Luke being creationism, Amy got raped by Luke. And we know because there's semen and blood on the crime scene that belongs to Luke and Amy respectively. There are injuries on Amy from being abused, and handled, and some left on Luke from being attacked by Amy in self-defense. There is video evidence from Amy's home security cameras. And people came in the room and watched the rape take place. A man has even come forward and admitted he told Luke to rape Amy. Now, what about Luke's evidence? How is he going to prove he has the alibi you gave him? Well, he has a Spanish dictionary that he bought after the rape. So surely Luke must be innocent. He was clearly in Spain, right? That's a far more accurate analogy for the evidence between evolution and creationism. And before I let you go, evolution is not a religion. It is a scientific theory. You believe in religion, not me. Not me. No deal.
You're more than welcome to believe that we evolved from a rock 4.6 billion years ago, but you just left science and entered a faith-based religious worldview.
Exactly. And you're also more than welcome to believe that a genie poofed everything into existence 6,000 years ago. But the science says you evolved from simple organisms that originated in an unknown way almost 3.7 billion years ago. You're more than welcome to believe that. But that's not the fucking case.
In the dictionary, science is defined as knowledge attained through observation or study. Things that we can know because we can see it, we can test it, and we can demonstrate it.
Sorry, but you forgot that inconvenient little etc. there. Besides, your definition is very limited. Science is a body of knowledge intended for real-world utility in the form of predictive capability and explanatory power. It gains knowledge most usually, if not always, through the scientific method, which was first proposed by the big bad Muslims. It follows a procedure in which a phenomena is observed, a hypothesis is formed to explain or predict things about its nature, an experiment or investigation is performed, and results are produced and compared to the hypothesis. In modern sciences, this is further enforced through peer review. Evolution is completely compatible with this method, hence the reason it is one of the fundamental theories in modern biology, and therefore science.
Well then, I have a question. Is evolution a part of science? Let's briefly touch upon the 6 kinds of evolution. Yeah, there are actually 6 different kinds of evolution. Evolution isn't just this little happy little thing. It's actually divided up into 6 different sections.
No it isn't. Kent Hovind tries to lump all scientific theories regarding the history of the universe under the name evolution. But that doesn't make it so. It makes Kent Hovind a liar, and it makes another reason Kent Hovind doesn't belong on the street, making his dirty money through his dirty lies while he engages in dirty tax evasion to keep all of his dirty money. He even believes in various conspiracy theories. The man is a lunatic, con artist, and criminal all at once. But whatever, I'll humour you.
First of all, we would have to have cosmic evolution, the origin of time, space, and matter, referring to the Big Bang.
And you, Mary, right where your head is, before the Big Bang, there was nothing there. And outside, where that squirrel is, there was nothing!
So, can we test or demonstrate the Big Bang? No, we can't, can we?
Yes, we can. The cosmic microwave background radiation would be the best example. There is a radio signature that is at least as old as the universe is, which indicates that the universe was incredibly hot once. We can deduce from universal expansion that that was because the universe was once a singularity. So yeah, we're pretty damn sure there was Big Bang, so try harder.
How about the second one? We have to have chemical evolution. According to chemical evolution, all the elements we have today evolved from just hydrogen and helium. Remember the periodic table of elements at school? They want us to believe that all these elements that we have today evolved from just hydrogen and helium. Well, you're welcome to believe that took place, but you can't know that. You can't see it, test it, or demonstrate it. So chemical evolution is not part of science. Welcome to believe in it, but don't call it science.
But it is. It's called nucleosynthesis by actual scientists. Let me ask you, do you know what a hydrogen bomb is? That's the go-to example of what you just said is impossible. The sun and every star ever is a perpetual hydrogen bomb of sorts.
Next, we would have to have stellar and planetary evolution. Do we ever see stars forming? No, we don't. We have never seen this happen. What we do see is stars blowing up. They're called novas and supernovas if it's a really big one. And that happens only one every 30 years. Interestingly enough, we see about 300 novas. Wow. That would not account for billions of years of worth of stellar and planetary activity, would it? Also, do you realise that scientists today have estimated that there are over 70 sextillion stars in the universe? Whoa, that is a big number. That's 70 followed by 21 zeros. That's a big number.
Indeed, it is a big number. Whoa! Anyway, we may not see stars form considering how hard it is to observe and how gradual the process is. But we can find the age of stars, and guess what? We know of various stars that are in thousands to millions of years old. And so they must have formed. They could not have just poofed into existence. Feel free to believe that, bro. But don't call it science.
Next, we would have to have organic evolution, the origin of life from non-life. Do we see that happening? Have we ever seen anything like that alive? Actually, non-living come alive. And you're like, yeah, my refrigerator. Well, that don't count. I'm talking like a rock actually evolving into life. No, we've never seen that. We've never tested it. Well, they've tried to test it and demonstrate it, but science has come up with nothing. You know, that does not belong in science. That is not a part of science. Life coming from non-life is a religious worldview. It's not at all got anything to do with science.
No scientist has actually made any claims certainty on abiogenesis. They're pretty decent hypotheses, but none have actually been shown to be the most applicable or completely viable for explaining the origin of life. The only scientists who jump the gun and say they know life comes from silicates are creationists. Oh, the irony! I am so surprised. Creationists self-projecting? Who would have thought?
Next, we would have to have macroevolution. That's one kind of animal changing into another kind of animal. We are always shown these types of diagrams, but do we actually see this taking place? No. There's a variety of dogs in the world today, but these are all varieties of dog. The Chihuahua and the Great Dane are very different, but they are both still dogs. It's possible that the dog, the wolf, and the coyote had a common ancestor, but I guarantee it was a dog. We don't see macroevolution taking place either today or in the fossil record. What we do see is fully formed, fully functional animals that are no different today as they were back then.
Like it or not, macroevolution is synonymous with speciation, and wolves to dogs are a perfect example.
But you don't have to take our word for it.
I suggest you look at the Talk.Origins article on the matter if you would like more examples. But you wouldn't, because you're a creationist and you're not interested in real discussion.
Now, you're more than welcome to believe that an animal can change into another kind of animal, but that is not science. It is your faith-based belief system.
Exactly. Evolution, luckily, does not say life forms can change kind, because nothing can grow out of its ancestry. You are still a mammal for this reason. You are still an ape for this reason.
Not science. Now, finally, we get to microevolution. Now, this one happens. I object to the term, but this one happens. Microevolution is not evolution. It is a variation within a kind of animal. A variety of dogs can produce a variety of different dogs, can't they? But is that evolution? No.
Yes.
It's not. It's just a variation. Here's a picture of me and my brothers. You can clearly see there is variation, right? Does this prove evolution? Of course not.
Human ethnicities are incomparable to dog breeds. There is no human that is several times larger than you, or half your size. There is no human that has been bred so out of shape that they cannot give natural births. It's an equivocation fallacy, and a pretty bad one. For the record, though, that photo proves you might be adopted.
But yeah, all I'm saying is, do your research, investigate, sit in the courtroom, and you will see.
Oh, I have, buddy. That's why I do this show. And it's why you are the Creationist of the Week this week. Thanks for coming.
There are some women out there like that, you know. Have you seen the film Misery? That's Amy.